From Atlanta,
with more stadium seating per capita than where you live,
it's the 9 Billion Names of Pod. Dan Bowman and Michael Reed. I'm Dan Bowman.
I'm already in line for Rogue One.
So let's talk about some stuff.
Nah, I've finished Stranger Things, and I have a lot of contemplating to do about my life. Let's go ahead and play part 2. Have you seen 10 Cloverfield Lane?
Oh, yes, I have.
Wow. That was interesting. Now they've set a universe going. So I really
Kinda.
Yeah, I mean, rises out of the ocean. Never saw. Well, we don't want to. Well, you know what? It's been out for a while.
Oh yeah.
10 Cloverfield Lane. We're about to spoil the shit out of it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it.
I mean, up until the last 20 minutes, it could go any way. You're like, he's crazy. There's nothing, and then all of a sudden, it's aliens.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's Mary Elizabeth Winstead is basically driving down the road and gets in a car wreck and wakes up in basically a bunker. That is
underground bunker
that is the property of John Goodman, and there is another guy in there. And John Goodman does such an amazing back and forth between he's definitely like a paranoid survivalist, and
he's a prepper. I mean,
he's a prepper.
The bunker is like you could live down there for 10 years and be fine.
And he says something happened and this and that, but then you later find out that he actually is the one who caused the accident with her, and then you find out there's this whole thing about his daughter, and then it turns out that it might not have been his daughter, that he abducted her, and it kind of goes back and forth, and you really don't know what's going on.
And he's telling them, you cannot go outside.
Right.
The air will kill you.
Right.
And as it turns out, that's true and not true. The air won't kill you, but the way the aliens are basically shooting their big can of Raid out of their ship, they just crop dust for humans.
Yeah.
And it doesn't kill you immediately, but you're dead within a week.
Right, and that's the brilliant turn of that movie is you think, you don't know what to think, and you think he's just crazy.
Yeah.
And then she's going to get out and everything's going to be fine. And then there are fucking aliens who have taken over the earth.
It's like, holy fuck, he's absolutely correct.
He was absolutely right about what was going on.
So that set up a universe that was good. And 10 Cloverfield is not found footage at all.
No,
or shaky
cam at all. No, that's just a good movie, and it was funny because they dropped it out of nowhere.
It really was.
Like it was not directed by J.J. Abrams, but it was produced by him.
Right,
and
exactly.
He was producing it like on the phone while doing Force Awakens.
Except for a little bit at the very beginning, I'd say 95% of the film takes place in the bunker.
In the bunker, yeah. So it's that one set, one stage,
right?
Sound
so you
stage.
could quietly do this film without having locations like second units and everything going all over the place.
Because what they did was they filmed it, they cut it, and they dropped a trailer and didn't tell anybody. All of a sudden, this trailer comes up, J.J. Abrams, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and everybody in the world went, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
And now you know.
So
no handheld found footage there.
Possibly in Blair Witch.
That's another one that I might be interested in seeing. That certainly not in the theater.
I'll see it. Yeah, I'll see what it looks like, and then I definitely won't see it in the theater.
No,
sure.
Oh gosh, no. After that, there's a film that appeals to me called Denial.
Okay.
And this is, remember Rachel Weisz we were talking about?
Yeah.
She's back, and she has a starring role in this one. And it's about an actual libel case about a guy who denied the Holocaust, and he was taken to court. And I'm a big fan of Holocaust deniers being shown for the crackpot motherfuckers that they are.
Yeah.
Because for the record, the 9 Billion Names of Pod acknowledges that the Holocaust did happen.
Yes, we did.
And it was around 6 million, not the 300,000 that they, it wasn't so bad. No. I mean, could it be 5.5 million? Sure. Could it be 6.5 million? Sure. We're not arguing over...
Kind of doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. Exactly. It's like, it's horrible up to this point.
Yeah.
and then underneath that it's okay. No,
Up to 3 million, it's bad.
so basically, I enjoy films where Nazis and Nazi sympathizers get their due. That's why I love Indiana Jones when he's fighting the Nazis.
Gets in their
Temple of
faces
Doom.
melted off.
Temple of Doom is okay,
No Nazis.
but there's no Nazis.
Yeah.
I need just punching some Nazis.
Yeah.
That would be good. This is a really interesting one that's coming up, and this is another biopic that is basically tickling the taint of the Oscar voters. Oh yeah,
Okay.
tickling the taint. Copyright 2016. Me. The Birth of a Nation, and I had to look it up to make sure they weren't remaking Birth of a Nation,
Right.
which is basically Confederate propaganda. Black people bad, Klan
Yeah.
really good. That's not what this is, but that's where they got the title from.
Right.
And this is about the slave uprising that Nat Turner did.
Okay.
And Nate Parker wrote, directed, and stars in it.
Okay.
So, okay,
Yep.
you've got the auteur thing. I'm thinking that's going to be Oscar. That's Oscar bait.
Totally.
The 7 Years a Slave, which I really want to see it, but
I don't know
those
if
kind
I
of
could do
films
it.
make me very fucking angry.
Yeah.
Just like,
or depressed or both. And I kind of don't know if I can do that.
yeah, it's even watching Roots.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple. It's like, just I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things I like about film. They reach in you and like they twist your guts sometimes, and sometimes you might need a little twisting of the guts. But yeah, I'm sure that's not going to be the feel good movie of the year. You're not going to be walking out of there skipping and singing the theme song.
No, sir.
But this is yet another, just in a third act of epic proportions, Jackie Earle Haley.
Yeah.
This guy, I mean, do you know his origin, like where he started, where most people know him from?
Of course. Kelly Leach.
Yeah.
Yeah. From Bad News Bears.
And then he fucked off for a while, and somebody pulled him out to be, he played a child molester that was released from prison, and god damn it, I can't remember the name of the film.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But people went, oh wow,
he can act.
he can like act up like, and he's on Preacher.
Is he? I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
up to that yet. Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
just started it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's...
Well, he was fucking Rorschach in
Oh
Watchmen.
my god, yes, and he is just on a roll.
Yeah.
I'm guessing based upon how he looks and how well he does evil, he's going to be a bad slave owner.
Yeah, I think so. As soon as I saw his name, I was
Yeah,
like, ooh, yeah.
it's like, okay, it's
I think he got a nomination for that child molester role.
I believe he did,
Yeah,
actually.
and that was kind of the whole comeback.
People were just like, wow, we kind of remember you, but
where the
hello.
fuck have you been?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
just like, like Dean Cameron from Ski School in Rockula, and you're winning an Oscar? What? He should, by the way. He's a great actor.
And a great writer, yeah. Dean Cameron.
Does he write?
Yeah. Yeah. He was writing plays and stuff in Florida, as a matter of fact.
In Florida?
Yeah.
Oh. I know he did a thing with the email, the Nigerian
Yeah, it
email
was that.
scam
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's doing some stuff. He lives in Los Angeles now.
Oh, maybe it was
And-
L.A. I
yeah.
thought for some reason, because Penn Jillette's always talking about
Well, he
it.
toured.
That's
He toured with the show. He
Yeah.
turned it into like, here's how I basically catfished this Nigerian guy that was trying to get my money,
Yeah,
and I kept
yeah.
him on the hook and kept
Well,
him on
he said he got to the end of the end of the play was where he actually got the guy to send him money. Like he actually did it.
Oh, did he really?
Yes, he actually got the guy to send him like $200, and he was like, "That's when I had to break off contact and like finish the play, and that was it." Because the guy kept talking about it.
Wow.
It was it was one of
Oh,
those
nice.
email scams, and
he has his own podcast called I think it's called the Half-Ass Cast.
okay.
That he has a partner on there, and I tell you, he acted in two of my favorite '80s guilty pleasure films.
Absolutely.
One '80s, one actually 1990, I think. Summer School,
Yep.
He played Chainsaw.
with-
Absolute brilliant film. My
Yep.
God.
Mark Harmon.
Hey, you know, when you think Mark Harmon, Kirstie Alley, you're like, whatever.
Yeah.
No, actually.
great movie.
Yeah, really good film.
Really good film.
And, well, it's a Carl Reiner film.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And then in 1990 or maybe 91, he starred in a film called Rockula about a teenage vampire or an early 20s maybe vampire that he doesn't like biting people. He goes by Red Cross donations. It's a musical comedy, music written and lyrics by him in some cases.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it also stars Tony Basil, yes, oh Mickey, you're so fine, Thomas Dolby, Bo Diddley. I'm not joking.
Okay.
It's weird. And there was a band in there that was that played in the club. That's I think all the kids of the members of the Cars.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember the name of the group or whatever, but it's a weird little film, and it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
Well, for the record, I really think Ski School and Ski School 2, of all things, are actually good comedies. They're good fights.
I've seen both.
At least
I've seen
him and that partner of his that was in the movie, like his not foil, but his partner in crime in the movie. They're great together. The chemistry is really fun.
And also, Dean did a series called "They Came from Outer Space." About a couple of guys,
Right.
like kind of road tripping around, being aliens.
I think that guy,
getting into
the other guy in
shenanigans.
that show, was the guy in Ski School.
It was like his Alex Winter.
Yes.
Whoever his Alex Winter
Right,
is. He's
right.
the Keanu to that guy's out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, getting back to Birth of a Nation. Yeah. So that's gonna be
That's going to be heavy.
that. I don't know if that's not a date film.
Yeah.
I might want to
I
go
would
see that
think
in the
not.
theater, but I prefer for a film like that may like really get me angry and bitter. I probably want to do that in the privacy of my own home.
Yes.
So I don't punch some white person on the way out. Like, but you're white. I know. I hate myself as much as I hate you. We suck. White Americans. We are the worst ever. We destroy everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, another adaptation coming out, American Pastoral.
Okay.
That's the Philip Roth book that he won a Pulitzer for.
Oh, okay.
Have not read it, know about it, looking forward to it. And Ewan McGregor,
Yep.
okay, he's not a Rene Russo. He's a cut above that.
Yes.
But it's
He just picks weird projects. Is
yeah.
What it is.
Now you know what he's working on. I think right now
I do.
They're shooting Train Spotting 2.
Yeah.
Which again, that's a story that there's more to be told. Okay, I mean I'm not against all sequels on the planet.
No, as long as there's integrity to it. Like I like when people take a property and revisit it, but do it in the right way. Don't if you can get all the key principal players and director and writer
Right.
and the original team and make something.
And I believe
special.
that is the case here.
Yeah, I believe so. They wouldn't have done it.
He's written it. Danny Boyle is back
Right.
directing, and they got all the
It's
principal.
Robert Carlyle and
Oh yeah. The only name I didn't notice in the cast listing was McDonald. What's her name?
Kelly MacDonald.
Kelly MacDonald. But she wasn't that integral to the original.
Right.
She was like a sequence in there.
Yeah.
So if she's not in it, then okay, because she was already out of the picture before the film was over.
Yeah.
I just want to know what happened to that sick, creepy baby on the ceiling.
That fucking wigged my shit out, man. That was a messed up sequence.
Really?
That whole movie's really uncomfortable.
That wigged you out, but diving into that toilet was like no problem.
That was just disgusting.
Oh my god.
That whole movie is fucked up. I mean,
Now,
in a good way.
For me, the first time I ever smoked pot, I laid on the floor and I remember that scene where he just I could not lie any flatter on the ground because I won't go into the whole story, but nothing's working. Smoke more. Nothing's, and bam,
Kablam, yeah.
it hit me, and I could not lie any flatter on the ground if I tried. And I just, that sinking,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, so
get
that's
it.
what they were talking about.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. You know,
Yep.
they got the band back together, and they're going on a reunion film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see how it
It's
goes.
not like a studio goes, yeah, let's do a sequel to that. Who can we get to be in that? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you own the property, but why?
That makes me nuts. But when the original team gets back together and revisits,
Yeah.
I'm all for that. I love that.
And
concept.
it may be a complete piece of shit, but at least it's on
their terms.
and their terms and with at least an attempt at integrity.
Right.
You know, they're not trying to replace half the cast because they don't want to do it, or, you know, as much as I thought the Hannibal film was, okay, you know, I enjoyed it. Julianne Moore instead of
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster, yeah.
That's a whole separate thing.
It's just like, you know, all right, well, because they got Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, and
so
they
it's
weren't
we
gonna
got
do it
him,
without
so
him,
we're
yeah.
doing this film no matter what.
Right.
And of course, then he also did the prequel, like 20 years later. Like, he's not immortal; he's aged.
Yes.
So but
They already had done the prequel anyway.
yeah,
With Brian
Manhunter.
Cox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
But back to American Pastoral.
Jennifer Connelly. I will watch her act in anything.
Yeah, or do anything.
And do anything, and that's independent of the fact that she is a strikingly beautiful woman.
Yes.
She
is a great actor.
She's got the chops.
Oh, totally.
She's got the chops. Dakota Fanning. The last thing I saw her in was the Runaways movie.
How was that? I didn't see that.
It was okay.
Yeah.
It's a little uneven, and it was directed by Zigmondi. I can't remember her first name, but she directed 2 of the videos from David Bowie's The Next Day album. The Stars Are Out Tonight and the title track Next Day, masterpieces of music video. I mean, perfect in every way. I couldn't believe how good they were. I had not been that excited about a music video in a long time.
Yep.
And this is her feature film debut. I was like, nah. You know, obviously you can't make a film look like a music video,
right,
even if it is about a band. And it was okay. It was, you know, Kristen Stewart did surprisingly well as Joan Jett.
Huh.
I mean, she really looked like her and pulled it off pretty nicely.
Okay.
So there you go. What else we got here? Well, let's talk about Inferno.
Okay.
That's the third Da Vinci film, Da Vinci Code film. I don't remember the second one. Was it Angels and Demons? Did they do a film of
They
that?
did, but that's the first book. That's the weird thing.
That's the prequel to
well, no, that
Da
was
Vinci
just
Code?
the first book. That was the first. I forget what his character's name is, but the first book was Angels and Demons, and the Da Vinci Code was the second book.
But they filmed Da Vinci,
did Da Vinci
Code first.
because it was such a huge success of a book.
And I've seen the film. Refresh my memory. That's the one about the parentage of Christ.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
I remember that one.
I read the book, and it was weird because I really didn't enjoy it, but I couldn't stop reading it. And it was like somebody took a somewhat dubious history book and jammed it into the middle of a shitty spy novel, or vice versa.
Okay.
And like he's a cryptologist or something, and like basically a glorified puzzle solver.
Right.
And there was one puzzle in the book that I figured out 40 pages before he got to it, and I'm just screaming at the book going, it's so easy. Why won't you just reveal that?
If I can do this, why do you need a cryptologist?
Exactly. So I was like, I never did sit through the movie. I wanted to, but
I did see it because apparently some Catholics were angry about
Yes.
it. So I said, goes to the top of my list. That's
right.
my rule.
Because it goes, it's like the whole conspiracy theory behind the Last Supper painting and
Right.
behind the actual the Louvre Museum and the whole it's a whole thing.
But basically, it was another version of National Treasure, just the international version.
Right. leading directly to Christ and the Templars and all that
exactly the secret. You are the last for me. Like, wow.
stuff. Yeah.
Hey, I always wondered why I could play my palm like a whistle, and now I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't. I mean, I didn't even know there was a third book. Maybe there isn't.
Yeah, I knew there was a third book. I did not know
okay.
that Ron Howard, who did the first two, was going to continue on and do the third one.
guess
And you know
he's-
what? It'll probably do okay because the books do well. It'll probably have a pretty good opening weekend and maybe drop 30%, 30 to 40 for the next weekend.
It'll make its money back.
Yeah, well, yeah, that probably will. And you got Felicity Jones in it, who's going to be in this tiny little indie film called Rogue One.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that'll make its budget back.
Probably
Close. Thursday night.
Or if it hasn't already.
By midnight.
Pre-sales.
Yeah, the
it hasn't,
pre-sales, exactly. That's the great thing when you can put out pre-sales for a film a couple weeks or a couple months in advance. You're like, holy crap, we've already made our budget back already just in pre-sales.
In foreign,
Nice.
they'll often do that. I forget which that's how Kevin Smith has been making those movies. Is like they've been selling the foreign rights, like to Tusk and Yoga Hosers, and they make the money back before the movie's even finished.
And he's doing it one time. I sent you a link about that.
I think we're gonna have to try to do that because I
it's one of those
really
Fathom
want
events.
to. Yeah, and I really want to see Yoga Hosers. I've been hearing him talk about it for 3 fucking years, and I want to support. I want to because I feel bad. I bought Tusk. I didn't go and see it, and I want to go see it in the movie theater.
Oh, that's right. We didn't see it in the theater.
No, we watched it here. Remember?
Yeah, with the one we saw in the.
We saw Red State.
We saw Red State. Of course, that was with him. He was there.
He was there. Yeah,
he was
in the
there.
room. So.
Another film, again with, oh my gosh, she's in everything now, Felicity Jones, A Monster Calls.
Okay.
And this caught my interest because I'm hoping it's not going to fall into that saccharine Disney Pete's Dragon bullshit department. But
okay.
I'll read to you the description that they gave on Wikipedia. A young boy who tries to deal with the terminal illness of his mother and the attacks of a school bully, one night encounters a monster in the form of a giant humanoid yew tree.
I've seen pictures of this, yeah.
I am Groot.
Yeah.
Who has come to tell him stories and soon begins to help Connor fix his unhappy life. There's something there where I'm like, that could be, if it's handled right, it could be more Boyhood and less Pete's Dragon. So
right now, keep in mind also that we almost just had this movie in the name of the BFG that Steven Spielberg put out,
and it bombed
like the biggest bomb he's ever had. I think.
I think a large part of why it bombed is that fucking title.
Yes.
They could have named the because as soon as I heard that, I went big
fucking giant.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's clever, but
right.
The BF.
Well, here's the thing. That is the actual title of the book. It's a Roald Dahl book, and that's what it's called.
Right, and of course you cannot call it the big.
Whenever the hell
giant.
that was written.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know when all his stuff was written, but it didn't mean that at that point.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I saw pictures of that and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And
I'm hopeful for that. Again, probably not in the theater.
Probably
maybe we'll see. I have to find out who directs it. That's a lot of times. If I'm on the fence, I'll check out the writer and the director, and if that can tip me one way or the other, just because their previous work says, "Oh, okay, not too not too shabby."
Yeah.
Now, we've talked a little bit about this, and we're getting closer and closer to November 14th, which is when we get Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I have not had anybody, wetting their pants talking about this. It's been more like, the trailer was lackluster.
Yeah, the trailer that was the big thing they said at Comic-Con this year, was that DC finally, after 10 years, one-upped Marvel at Comic-Con, because Marvel, literally the only stuff that they brought out, the only stuff they did was they announced Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, which, great, that's a great choice.
Jeez.
But all they did was walk her out on stage and wave, so that was fine, and they dropped.
Oh, you know it was fine. That's Brie Larson.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen Room?
I have not seen Room.
Damn,
I know.
That's why she has that role.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, independent of the Oscar she
Right.
won for it, just that's one of those things where like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, what's he going to do? And then he wowed you like, where did you come from? I've seen you in this lightweight, inconsequential stuff, and then you bring the fucking fire.
So Marvel has their gathering and their panel, like, oh well, we got to have our first female superhero. Here's Brie Larson as that, and then the next night, DC is like, oh yeah, well here's fucking Wonder Woman trailer, and blows the doors off the place. So and then the only other thing Marvel dropped the only other thing they dropped was the Doctor Strange trailer, and it kind of thudded. It's like, okay, that's all right. And I think what they're hoping for or banking on is because Guardians of the Galaxy was the same thing. C-level team, C-level comic, never sold a lot. A lot of people were like, why the fuck are they making a movie out of that? The fucking raccoon in the tree? And yeah, really. And, it was kind of, I don't want to say it was a joke among comics, but it was like, what? It's like Howard the Duck. Like, why would you do? And Doctor Strange has a lot of hardcore fans. It's just not mainstream. It's like a weird magic comic.
To be honest, I had not heard Doctor Strange ever in my life. And when I saw the trailer, I went, that's Morpheus from Venture Brothers. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. And some of the effects that they did in the trailer, I'm like, oh, okay.
It's kind of cool.
That could be cool. And, and we get the Wi-Fi password, so there's that.
Yeah, that was a funny little thing.
I bet you that's like, and here's our Guardians or our Daredevil or Deadpool moment.
Yes, exactly.
Like, comedy,
yeah. And that was, because that is his mantra, I think, in the...
Was it Shazam or Shambol? Or
Shambhala.
Shambhala.
Yeah, I think that's his magic word or something in the comics, and they had to fit it in, and that was kind of funny. And I don't know. I never read Doctor Strange. The thing I said, I said the thing that struck me the most was like, oh, Benedict Cumberbatch can do anything except an American accent, because it's not good. It's not good.
The one thing, I mean, I'm a fan of Benedict Cumberbatch. He's solid. He's very solid. But the thing that's swaying me towards this could be decent, Tilda Swinton.
Oh yeah. And Chiwetel Ejiofor. I mean,
is he in this too?
Oh yeah,
that's right. I remember.
He's the Wi-Fi bed. Oh. Yeah. So yeah, there's good, and Mads Mikkelsen is in it too, I think.
That's right. He's the villain.
Yeah. So there are good people in it, and it just, I don't know, it didn't blow the doors off. Maybe it's just not good trailers.
We'll see. And, we saw that with what was the one trailer everyone went nuts about? Oh, the Ghostbusters
trailer.
reboot.
Yeah.
They said it was horrible,
right.
And I thought it was definitely not up to par. But the film itself was solid.
I liked it a lot. I liked it way better.
Now, unfortunately, it looks like the box office fell about 50 mils short of their little mental limit or their mental thing, where it's like, if it gets to here, then we can do a sequel.
Right.
And apparently it didn't quite make it. I'm like, really? I mean,
give it a chance.
I don't know.
Cut the budget a little bit.
Don't base it on the success of the previous ones. I mean, I guess that can give you kind of an idea of what you're looking at, but
no,
it's a different thing. It's with a different cast, and if it turns out to be the only one, okay.
It was good. I enjoyed it. I will watch it again.
I want more Holtzman.
I do. I want more.
I mean, I'll take a Holtzman standalone film.
Yeah.
I mean, no disrespect to anybody else, but she was the standout in that.
For sure.
In that, Nick's girlfriend Amy has been working on her Holtzman outfit, and she's got it on lock.
Really?
I mean, she's dyed her hair. She's got it styled. I mean, she's got the outfit. She will be Holtzman.
Nice.
I hope she's just very subtly inappropriate with everybody at con, because she has the Holtzman thing down perfectly.
Yep.
Now, definitely not a geek film, but I may actually go to the theater for this one, because the first one was just so sick and just Bad Santa 2. And the fact that it's been like a decade since the first one.
More, I think.
Has it been long? It's been a while. It's been a while.
Like 15 years, I think.
And everybody's back. I mean, Lorelai Gilmore is not back.
Well, yeah.
Whatever.
Lauren Graham.
Yeah, exactly. But Billy Bob's back, and I forgot the name of the Tony Cox, I believe, is the name. His little person. Yeah. And this one also has Kathy Bates and Christina Hendricks from Mad Men. And you know what? You just had me. Basically, as long as you have Thornton and Cox and it's Bad Santa 2, I'm good. I don't need to hear much of anything else. Because remember what I was saying before? There are just some films that are just dumb comedies or whatever that you enjoy for 90 minutes. Usually comedies run about 90 as opposed to 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then you're like, that was fun. Not going to own it on DVD,
Right.
But I'm looking forward to Bad Santa 2. That could be fun.
I didn't care for the first one.
Really?
I have a problem with watching movies about people I find repulsive is kind of hard for me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't know. I might not have been in the right headspace for it, but it was like I just didn't enjoy it that much.
Then you may have a problem watching Breaking Bad, because you're going to find yourself rooting for someone that you really think is kind of being a shit.
It's different. It's different.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. There was just something about it.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I'll see the, I don't think I've even seen the trailers for 2 yet, but I don't know.
Okay.
I'm kind of on the fence about it.
All right. I'm the first to admit that, it's not high art. It's
No.
just a dumb. Basically, it's like the first Hangover film. That was a fun little film.
Yeah.
The other two, why?
Yeah.
Just no.
Money.
They're just
Money
beating.
grab.
Right. They're just beating.
Oh, yeah.
It's happened again, and then it's happened a third time. Like, all right, you guys are cursed.
You're idiots.
Just you're. Yeah, exactly.
You're
it's
just
not
idiots.
a curse. You're just stupid as hell. So that could be good. Now, this next film is one I am very, very, very interested in, and I mean very.
All right.
Even though the pedigree of one of the writers makes me want to punch someone in the face.
All right.
Here we go. This is Passengers.
Yes.
Have you heard about this?
I have.
Okay. Comes out December 1st. Chris Pratt,
Yep.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yep.
Already there, A-list.
Home run. Yeah.
Rocking it. Here's the brief synopsis.
Yes.
The spaceship, Starship Avalon, is on its 120-year voyage to a distant colony planet transporting over 5,000 people, and it has a malfunction in just 2 of its sleep chambers. As a result, 2 of the pods open prematurely, and the 2 people that awoke are stranded on the spaceship, still 90 years away from their destination. Now, put that in context. You're on this massive ship,
Yep.
not meant for you to be running around, not meant for you to be chowing down.
Yep.
You're being, fed through, I'm assuming, tubes or whatever they're doing.
Somehow it's keeping
whatever the mechanics of your hibernation is.
Yeah.
And at 90 years, you're going to die before you get to your destination.
Die in a couple of weeks is what it sounds like.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm sure they can MacGyver up
Yes,
some
yes.
shit. I mean, that's what the whole thing about.
Right.
But it's the whole dynamic between the 2 of them. Do they know each other? Probably not.
Nope.
With 5,000 plus people, the chances of them knowing each other, maybe not.
yeah.
Does one come out of hibernation and then another one 2 weeks later? Are they at other ends of a ship that could be as large as 20 football fields and they don't even know each other are there for months until they run into each other? Or, I mean, there's a lot going on here, and I really dig that.
Yep.
Here's the thing that makes me go, It's written by Joe Spaihts, Spaihts.
Okay.
Okay. Guess what he co-wrote.
Don't know the name.
He co-wrote it with Damon Lindelof.
Prometheus?
You got it.
Ooh.
Yeah. That right there makes me go, I want to say that you're a genius and that Lindelof browbeat you and you were like definitely second tier and he rode roughshod over you when you said, but if they do that makes no sense and is really stupid. Shut up, kid.
I was on Lost.
Yeah, Lost here. Like, okay.
Yeah.
He also co-wrote Doctor Strange, which is we just talked about.
Interesting. Okay.
And he is the writer on the upcoming reboot of The Mummy.
The Tom Cruise one.
Yes.
Okay.
Which, all right,
Well,
reboot
that
again.
you can't hold against them.
No.
That sounds just like
Oh,
a
no, no,
gig.
no. I'll never hold it against a writer for writing on a project that I just think the project is stupid. I
Right.
mean, you got to make a living.
Yeah.
Until
And you can elevate. You can take something stupid and make it great.
Exactly. Until I come to his house and teach his kids and buy him a car and pay his taxes, I have no fucking right to tell him a goddamn thing about what projects he should or should not take.
Right.
I can judge about what he does with those projects after they're out and go, that was kind of crappy. Right. But as far as, what he takes on, he's definitely in the A-list. I mean, these are all very high-profile films. So
there's something there.
Yeah. So this film, almost guaranteed I will see this in the theater.
Okay.
Because it takes place sci-fi wise, but it's more about human interaction.
Yeah.
And I really like it. Kind of like in the sense The Martian.
Exactly.
Yeah, The Martian is quote unquote sci-fi, but really it's more sci.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of fi in
Not
The
a lot,
Martian.
no.
The couple of things were like that couldn't happen, but it could happen in the future because of the technology. So I'm really excited. Out of all the films we've talked about, that's the one that I am more excited about than just about anything. Another one that's really interesting, called The Founder. Have you heard about this?
No, I don't think so.
This is about a film about the birth of McDonald's.
Oh, I've seen the trailer for that. Yeah, with Michael Keaton
Exactly.
as Ray Kroc.
And as soon as I saw Michael Keaton, I said, you know what? I'm in. Because it's interesting to see, okay, something that you take for granted. It's everywhere, literally everywhere.
Literally.
And finding out that, and they got their base of operations, McDonald's, is in
San Diego?
Yep, you got it, San Diego. I mean, the YMCA has the Ray Kroc Center.
Yep.
So I'm keen on it's being played out as a kind of not really a biopic, but kind of like the drama between Ray Kroc and the McDonald's brothers.
Right. What people don't realize is that Ray Kroc didn't found McDonald's.
No.
The McDonald brothers
had
a hamburger stand, and he basically kind of like bullied them. And
well, it's like, where's Roebuck?
Yeah.
We've heard of Sears. What the fuck happened to Roebuck?
Yeah. Why would Ray Kroc be the founder of
McDonald's? Right.
So he basically took it over and kind of shoved them out and made it the billions and billions and billions.
And one of the brothers, as best as I can tell, is being played by Nick Offerman.
Yes.
Oh, that's another actor. Like, I may not see everything he does in the theater, but I will damn well see everything he does.
Yeah,
because he's good. And then Laura Dern's in it.
Yeah.
Okay, she does okay. And the last one I want to talk about, you may have a couple more percolating over there. It's an interesting one. It's more current events. It's called Miss Sloane. Stars Jessica Chastain as a lobbyist trying to get background check through for a version of gun control and all the things she's up against and all the headwinds and the criticisms and you're trying to take our guns and all that other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that gets right into current events with the election and the Second Amendment and gun rights and stuff is something that I'm very on top of because
it's very important.
It's very important not for it to go crazy. I mean, I don't think everyone, does have the right to have armor-piercing bullets and semi-automatic, telescopic lens go through a wall and kill someone. There's guns for let's face it, there is no gun or arsenal that any even family of say 6 is going to defend if the US government somehow decides to take them over, which of course probably won't happen.
No.
But I mean, if the government wants to mess with you, you're messed with,
Yeah.
No arsenal's going to protect that. It may prolong it for a couple of days, maybe.
I mean, I understand the whole self-protection, and I understand the whole,
hunting,
and I understand the whole, concept of, well, if the government rises up and but come on.
I know.
It's paranoid ravings, and I personally don't particularly want to kill anybody, even in self-defense.
There's a few people that I wouldn't mind if they were no longer around, but I wouldn't actually do it myself.
Yes.
Let's just put it that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, the whole Second Amendment thing is.
Well, I have a feeling that the film Miss Sloane will delve into all of those shenanigans and get people riled up about guns. Or maybe it'll gloss it over and be a big piece of garbage. Although this is Jessica Chastain, so she doesn't take on,
Yeah, it'll be a heavy...
Yeah, she can handle the heavy stuff. This isn't, what is it, Elle Woods Part 3... what was her thing? The Pink, the girl.
Legally Blonde.
Yeah, Legally Blonde
Yeah.
3, gun control.
Yeah.
Where it's like, my little dog will save the day,
Right,
and everyone
right,
will
right.
be respectful of guns, or I don't know.
Well, it's funny, I saw an interview with her. Oh, wait, no. I did what everybody else just did. I just got her confused with Bryce Dallas Howard in my head. Because I heard an
With
interview...
Reese Witherspoon?
No, with Jessica Chastain.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah. Is it the red hair? It's the red hair.
It's the red hair.
Yeah.
Well, they look a hell of a lot alike. But no, I heard an interview with okay, wait a minute. Which one is it? Well,
You're getting confused.
I'm
even
getting
as
confused
we're-
because
yeah.
Jessica Chastain is in Pete's Dragon, correct?
Sure, I guess. I don't know.
I think
I could care less about Pete's Dragon, the original or the remake.
I remember the original.
I think Helen Reddy was in the original.
She was,
Yeah.
strangely enough.
Dig me some Helen Reddy. That's some 70s schlocky
That's
FM.
with a big cartoon dragon.
Yeah,
and all that.
exactly.
So, and speaking of cartoons, the last one I want to talk about is the new Pixar movie Moana.
Moana.
Yeah, it looks like it's the history of either Tahiti or Hawaii, one of those,
I would think Hawaii would be more obvious just because it's...
But it's definitely an island nation, and,
Okay.
and there's it's Dwayne Johnson doing one of the voices, and he's I want to say Maui is the name of the character, so it's like naming the island. And,
okay.
And it looks really good. I mean, Pixar, rarely misses.
Yeah, so, okay.
In that kind of stuff, you
Yeah.
know, your planes and cars notwithstanding, for the most part, they when they tackle stuff like this, like Brave doing Scotland. I mean, the Pixar Disney.
Did Pixar do Frozen? No, that's not Pixar.
No, that was Disney.
That's Disney.
That was straight up Disney.
Okay, 'cause
yeah,
that's like that was one of the you had to know something about the movie Frozen at trivia last week.
Oh, I could have helped.
Unless it's about Let It Go, and that being the name of the song, I know nothing about anything else. I know there's a snowman.
Olaf.
Yeah, that's it, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's for what it is. It's good. It's
For cultural awareness, I need to see it because it's
it's a good watch. It's fine.
Okay,
So
that's what you're. That's
that's
angling
one of the last
for.
ones I'm looking forward to. Oh, and like that little tiny movie Rogue One that's coming out.
That little tiny movie Rogue One. Well, I heard a little something about Rogue One that they just released yesterday. Did you know that along with Darth Vader, we are also going to get
Medication time. Medication time.
we ran out of time. I will tell you next week.
The 9 Billion Names of Pod was conceived, written, and performed by Michael Reed and Dan Bauman, with Abdul Beni Hassan as the sound of splintering wood. Research, transportation, and exasperated looks by Courtney Lohner. Technical assistance by Cubase, Pro Tools, Skynet, QLab, Deep Thought, Big Brother, and Eddie, your shipboard computer. Financial consideration provided by the Wayne Foundation, Stark Industries, the Piranha Brothers, and LexCorp. Legal counsel by the Offices of Howard, Howard & Fine. Maybe I'll go see Rogue One, I'm not so sure. Our intro music was written by Tim Akers. This podcast was sponsored by Deep Shag Records and is a production of Audio Primate. Throw us a couple stars on iTunes, why don't you? Check us out on dadsgarageradio.net. Listen, watch on YouTube. Listen on SoundCloud. Stream us on Stitcher. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Or email us, comlink@billionpod.com. Until this happens again, I'm Dan Bauman.
I'm Michael Reed.
Allons-y.
Audio Primate.